Are you my sister or what? Nancy had been hysterical for half an hour. You've got to help me out. Do something useful for once in your life. Well, that was rude, but my sister was never very tactful when it came to me. Nancy, I can't replace you at school. That's absurd. What? Well, of course you can. We're twins. Nancy shoved a pile of clothes in my hands. Come on, get dressed. I have to do your makeup. That's when I knew it was no use resisting. Hi, my name is Audrey, and for one day, I was my twin sister. It all started with Nancy screaming in the early morning hours. Oh no, my face! What is that? I never go into my sister's room without knocking, but here I was terrified that something irreparable had happened. Had she aged 30 years like in a teen comedy, or become a guy? Nancy the boyfriend. There would be the first guy with neon manicures in high school. That would be tough on him. But the reason for the tantrum was much more trivial. The entire face, neck, chest, and arms of my sister were covered in a nasty red rash. It's not just her face, I thought. Turns out I thought out loud. You've got to be kidding me! Nancy jumped on me. Look at what's become of me. How am I supposed to go to school now? Today's such an important day. I can't stay home. I wanted to tell her that it was just her negligence that was causing it, but I changed my mind. Our whole family is allergic to chocolate, but Nancy wanted chocolate ice cream so badly that she decided to blow off her allergies. Even last night, when I saw the empty bucket in the trash, I knew my twin would have a surprise in the morning. There it was. Nancy huffed for a few more minutes, trying to think of a way out of the situation, and then decided that I might as well go to school instead. We're twins! That was her main, and in fact, her only argument. It makes sense, we are twins, except you would never meet two people so different from each other. My sister loved to dress up, put on makeup, flirt with boys, and dance till morning at loud parties. She always knew how to present herself properly. I, on the other hand, loved to read and play computer games. All my friends were imaginary, and I was in love with Tom Hardy. I was a geek, and my sister was a popular beauty. How could I replace her? And without anyone noticing the switch? I'm not giving those P Beta Club chickens a reason to make fun of me. Nancy Carter will be their president tonight, Nancy hissed as she smeared foundation on my face. President? What are you talking about? I tried to get out of my chair and run. Sit down, my sister barked and explained more calmly. For the past 6 months, she had been working on her goal of becoming president of the Pi Beta Girls Club. You know, those stupid gatherings of self-righteous hotties. Honestly, I never understood the point of those clubs. But Nancy had worked her ass off to get in, and now she was killing herself to be president. One night at dinner, I asked her what the presidency would get her. Then my sister looked at me like I was retarded and explained everything. You didn't understand either? That's all right. So today my sister's fate is to be decided. After class, these show-offs will gather in one of the classes and vote. The girl with the most votes will be president. Before the vote, each chicken will make a speech. You will too. My sister slipped a piece of paper into my hands. Here's mine. You're going to learn it and say it so heartfully that they all shed a tear. Do you understand? What's not to understand? I can handle it. The main thing is to find my mom's sedative pills and take them before the meeting. Otherwise, I'll just faint. I hate public speaking. Half an hour later, I stood in front of the mirror and couldn't believe my eyes. Nancy was looking at me. My own mother wouldn't know the difference. My sister grinned wickedly. By the way, she didn't. The look on Nancy's face made her shake her head, and she wrote a note to the teachers. I saw the ice cream bucket, she sighed, handing me the note. I didn't expect that from Audrey. Oh my God, I disappointed my mom, and I wasn't even at fault. I'd have to come up with a revenge plan for Nancy. I had to take the car to school. I was going to walk, but my sister threw me the keys. Only losers walk. She probably forgot that I hadn't been behind the wheel in a long time. My parents had bought us one car, but I'd driven it twice when I was picking up the twin from parties. It wasn't far, but I took one of the curbs very badly, nearly hitting another car. "Where are you going?" the driver shouted as he rolled down the window. But when he saw me, he looked down and smiled. "I'm sorry, beautiful. I was wrong." Clutching the steering wheel with my shaking, sweaty hands, I tried to do what Nancy always did on such occasions. I waved my hair proudly and hit the gas, almost running into another car at a stoplight. So it was not without adventure that I got to school. Another hassle was waiting for me in the parking lot. I could not figure out how to squeeze my car between two other cars. I was getting nervous, school was about to start, and I was still struggling. 1 meter forward, 1 meter back. "Have you puked yet?" I heard a gruff man's voice. A muscular, handsome man was walking imposingly towards the car. He seemed to be in a higher class. I'd seen him in the cafeteria one day, cackling with the idiot soccer players. "What?" I squeaked, forgetting for a second that I was playing sister today. "I said, you're not getting car sick. You've been bouncing back and forth for half an hour. Shake it off." The guy opened the door like a proprietor, and when I got out, he slapped me on the back of the car in a very brazen way. "Hey!" I said indignantly. "What's the matter, Nancy? You're in the mood to be a prude? I'm your boyfriend. I'm entitled." "Boyfriend?" While the handsome guy parked the car, I frantically dialed a text message to my sister. I had no idea Nancy was seeing someone. "None of your business," my twin replied. "Not my business, but what's his name at least?" That's how I met Harry, a handsome but very cocky guy who my sister had been dating for 2 weeks. And very soon I understood why she didn't tell us about their relationship. "You look great." Harry hugged my neck so tightly that it crunched a vertebra. The guy was about to lean in to kiss me, and then some guys called out to him and the danger passed. Whew. Nancy's first class was math. I thought about Harry again, as the teacher posted the assignment on the blackboard. What a creep. Not like my beloved Tom Hardy. He would never behave like that. "Who can tell me the answer?" My teacher's voice snapped me out of my reverie about my favorite actor. Forgetting my role as Nancy, I quickly solved the problem in my mind and raised my hand. The teacher's eyebrows went up. "Miss Carter?" I called out the answer. It was correct, of course. And then I realized what I had done. My sister would never solve this example. She had trouble adding 2-digit numbers in her head. "I'm sorry," I said for some reason, blushed, and spent the rest of the lesson trying not to notice how everyone was looking at me. After class, the teacher asked me to stay for a bit. "Nancy," he began uncertainly, "I have to be honest. I didn't think math was your thing, but today you solved a problem so easily." "I'm sick," I blurted out the first thing I could think of, and I hurried out of the classroom, so as not to say something stupid again. Ugh, I was such an idiot. Now he would think Nancy was crazy. I stayed as focused as possible in the rest of the class, and tried to act exactly like my sister, dumb and not doing anything. Oh, how hard that was. I never thought it would be so hard to be stupid and beautiful. I was especially pissed off at the guys who kept whistling and making stupid jokes at me as I walked down the hall. Who could possibly like that? A meeting of the Pi Beta Club was coming up. Harry came up to me at lunch. "I want you to win today. I don't need a loser chick." Specific way to cheer up the girl you love. I mustered a smile and didn't say anything back. "By the way, we're not going to the movies tomorrow." The guy grabbed a tomato from my plate and began to chew. "Me and the guys decided to play balloons." Fighting the urge to poke him with a fork, I still could not believe that my beautiful sister chose as a boyfriend such a rude bore. He doesn't give her any credit. As stupid and mean as Nancy is, she's as respectable as any girl. Of course, she will snap at me and the people around her if her boyfriend treats her like a thing. I opened Messenger to text my sister about it, but stumbled upon an earlier message. "None of your business." And really, none of my business. Let her figure it out for herself. The Pi Beta Club meeting was like a serpentarium. A few dozen narcissistic beauties, smiles, kisses, cheers, and in their eyes, a thinly veiled hatred. How could anyone willingly join this club and aspire to be its leader? Nancy would have been better off lying on her bed watching endless soap operas. When I almost collapsed on my heels at the doorstep of the classroom, the girls could hardly contain their laughter. "Nancy, are you okay?" someone asked. "Better than anyone else," I replied nonchalantly. Stupid Harry, the homework, and now the assembly speech. My nerves began to give out. And during recess, I drank the sedative my sister and I had stolen from my parents' bathroom that morning. Now the pills were working, and I wasn't afraid of any pea-bat snakes. I was ready to tear them all up because I was Nancy Carter. I was the last one to speak. It was impossible to listen to the other candidates for the presidency, so pathetic they looked. Wiping away their tears, these well-groomed, beautiful girls said they couldn't imagine their lives without P-Bat and would do anything to become the head of the club. I read my sister's speech this morning. She was going to say the same thing. "I love you. I adore you. I would do anything to get the whole town talking about our club." That was ridiculous. But it couldn't be helped. I was playing a role, and my lines were prescribed in advance. Finally, it was my turn to shed tears and swear my love for the club. Standing before these smug snakes, I began, "My dear club sisters, I am so glad to stand before you now." In fact, those were the only words of the speech Nancy wrote. Would I be able to live without the P-Bat? Well, absolutely. But I think my ability to look great and get out of any situation and get what I want is very helpful in developing the club. Well, if this club thinks it's okay for the president to cry and beg for the vote, then I'd better look for another club. The girls gasped and whispered. I headed for the exit. When you make a decision, text me. It's so good that I'll never see them again. The next morning, I looked in my sister's room. Nancy was thoughtfully brushing her long hair in front of the mirror and hadn't even yelled at me for not knocking. "How are the allergies?" I asked. "It's better now." My sister turned to me. "One of the girls filmed your speech at the P-Bat. I think you overdid it a little bit. They elected me as president, but I decided to give up the position." I couldn't believe it. Nancy had been going at it for so long, and now she's giving it up? But why? Why do you think my sister decided to give up her position as club president? And why did the girls choose her? I'm waiting for your comments below the video.